Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. So, we're going to go a little Bigfoot hunting. Newaygo County, Michigan. Ooh, we have a sighting here.
Oh my goodness, do we ever.
You know, I've been in this area. I've been actually camping just north of this area. Very beautiful, beautiful country. This gentleman, Eddie Abbott, military intelligence analyst, seems to be very excited about this Bigfoot footage caught on trail camera. What do you make of this? Is it real? Is it just a movie? Is it AI? I mean, gosh. See, that's the thing. Now we could always say everything in the sky is just Starlink satellites. We could say, oh, somebody just made that. It's just AI. It's not real. This is such a great way to kind of debunk everything now with everything that's out there, right?
Well, it's most convenient anyhow.
Look at the eyes, though. Feel the eyes. Yeah, it's very, very cool footage. Trail cam. Now they got also a picture here. Look at the hands. This, I'll admit, at this particular staging with the face right in front of leaves like this almost feels like it's a big stuffed animal. But at the same time, it looks like it's glitching in the feet. Where are its feet? I see a tree behind it. I don't see its feet. So is this a superimposition of, a photo on this? It looks like it might be finagled, or is it going in and out of a dimension? Is it a multidimensional being? I've shared with you guys, I awoke in December of 2017, August. So it was 4 months, pretty much 4 months after starting Evolutionary Energy Arts. And by the way, today is EEARTS 7-year anniversary. It will be 9 years for Evolutionary in August, but yes, EEARTS, Cindy and I were scrambling to get this channel up after they had given Evolutionary two strikes because we were talking about certain things that looked weird and curious going on with legislation that eventually got all explained later on when the plague upon the land came. 7 years we've been making videos on EEARTS, and we've done several thousand videos on EEARTS. We've done actually almost 6,000 videos total. Time flies, right? But anyway, I digress. What do you make of this? How about this? Catching the backside as it's walking away. It's got some booty, that's for sure.
He looks a little lumpy in that one.
Yeah, honestly, these two photos make me say, I don't know if I believe this. The video, though, is very fun. And the reality is, too, there's another gentleman out there that had interactions with a group of them and had many of these type of video recordings. Actually, this one reminds me of that guy's video recording. And maybe it is. Maybe they're placing this as that. But everybody, is jumping on board with this. Another paranormal person, cryptozoology. We love cryptozoology. We would love to talk about this all the time instead about the death and destruction and the war. Honestly, we find this far more interesting because it's just more up our alley. But we do our best to bring you guys news of everything that's going on. What is interesting is that trail cam footage coincides with this. This is an article from NBC News, and this is from 2011, right? So this is from 15 years ago almost. It's from October 2011, and this is the same spot. There are new claims of Bigfoot encounters. Rural Michigan, it's actually the same county, and then over in Siberia. That will add to the debate. As you can see, this cast of a supposed Bigfoot footprint taken from Siberia, found along a muddy floor of a cave. But they were only the imprints of the right foot. He must have been playing hopscotch, one said. Bigfoot, in my mind, I think there is more than one. I would say, yeah, absolutely. There's more than one species of Bigfoot, or you could say there's a Bigfoot, but then there might be different subgenus underneath it. Because we have skunk ape, we have, I forget what the term is they use over in Thailand, Indonesia, Penak, I forget what the term is, but you have different types, different hair color, different sizes, vastly different sizes. Of course, we have the Yeti and abominable snowman and all. In fact, there are notations in the Hindu scriptures of this being exactly. They were thought to be guardians of sacred places. But here you go. This is Newaygo County, north of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Very beautiful area, by the way. Robin Lynn Pfeiffer, 47-year-old resident, has been feeding them. They get fish every day, a bucket of fruit, a bucket of dried dog food. She fed a family of them. A large family of close to 10 Bigfoot-like creatures who live in the woods near her home for the past 2 years. This woman was feeding. Their absolute favorite thing was blueberry bagels. So a lot of people get very, very suspicious. Why would they trust her? Because it's your energy. This is what most beings out there do. They read your energy. They read your aura. They can see your aura. It's only us, for the most part, out there that have lost the ability in many cases to read people's energy, to read their aura. But then again, a lot of the humans, and probably most of you guys that are going to be interested in this, you have that ability too. If not, it is coming on. This is part of the shift between the ages. We also get that the dimensions are literally collapsing together because we are rising up into that fourth density as we're making our way, ultimately heading towards fifth density for all those on the ascension path. And so we're coming through, and we're going to be seeing more beings from our myths and legends all the time. So when we get the stories of fairies and trolls and nymphs and elves and sprites and undines and all these different things that we think are just childhood silliness. No, people saw these things all the time in the other age, in the last Bronze Age, only in the Kali Yuga. Again, humans have DNA that's been tampered with. That junk DNA, a lot of it has been turned off. It's being turned on by the sun. So get out in the sun. And I wouldn't wear sunscreen. But you also have to clean up your diet. That's another story there. But here you go. Bigfoot contactees. This is pretty wild. And of course, they're being cynical. Where's her photographs? When you understand that these creatures are in the minority in our realm, and you feel like you would want to guard them, because there are people that will just go and shoot one just so they could have a body, and it's a being, it's a soul, it's something with intelligence, emotions, and feelings. And yeah, unfortunately, we do have people that have the mindset that they would just go ahead and kill somebody, because that is killing somebody. Just to have proof to show everybody else. But you got other people that can interact with them, and they have the compassion, and they have the heart and the frequency that the Bigfoot knows, or whatever being it is out there knows, that these people are no harm, and that's why they would interact with them and show themselves to them.
I mean, that's, to me, when you're out in the mountains and you're at peace, the likelihood of them even wanting to come close and take a look at you are higher. They can read energy, and they can sense, and they have very powerful pineal glands. And I often feel that maybe at one of the resets, if they weren't, in tribal, and there was a lot of them, and during a reset, they were pushed out into the mountains, and they knew not to come back. They knew that's where they were going to make their home. They knew to keep their distance from most humans.
So let's put it that maybe us right now, those that are on the ascension path, our destiny is like Bigfoot. And we will gain that ability to shift our frequency, so they won't be able to see us. The people that go the route of technology and nanotech and AI, and the singularity merging with the technology, we will rise up in ability to move ourselves and shift ourselves out of their range to see us, quite literally. And so Bigfoot, as Cindy was saying, simply has gone through this in a different reset, and this is what we feel is the case. So yeah, this was an interesting case. Newaygo County, Michigan, prominent 2011 Bigfoot claim involving Robin Lynn Pfeiffer, who stated she lived in harmony with a family of roughly 10 creatures for 2 years. The group loved blueberry bagels, fruit, fish, and dry dog food, noting their favorite treat was the blueberry bagels. 6 to 9 feet tall with hairy coats, broad noses. She collected casts of large footprints, one of them up to 18.5 inches long. There was a big male that was about 9.5 feet tall, but they ranged from 6 feet basically to 9.5 feet tall. And there was other reports, including a 2026 sighting of a 10-foot Sasquatch nearby Portage County, and local businesses in Newaygo selling Bigfoot and Sasquatch souvenirs. So is it just all for money? No, I don't think so. Absolutely not, especially when you've had encounters yourself. This is Alberta, Canada. And yeah, that looks very, very humanoid. It looks like a guy in a big costume, sort of. But then when you see the tree and the branch and how it goes and lifts the branch and starts smashing it, it feels like it's pretty strong. I mean, dried wood is, a lot lighter once all the water is gone from the wood. But still, it's just the way that it moves that and just like nothing. It feels like there's some real strength there.
It just plays with them like they're sticks, and you can see that out in the woods. When I was little, I used to ride my horse up in the mountains in Idaho, and you saw all kinds of weird stuff, like certain trees, very large pine trees. Like, how could they be pulled up from the roots?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this so many times. We ourselves have seen and had many encounters. I have not seen directly yet, and I hope that I will, a Bigfoot visibly with my eyes, but we have definitely felt them. Now, I don't know about this. This looks kind of wild and a little violent there. This little guy's up there smashing away. When Cindy first saw it, she just thought it was some sort of monkey. I don't know if it's like from an old movie or what, but it just is weird. And all the birds circling, that part feels kind of real with the birds circling. Wondering if they're going to get some scraps up on top of a pole. That's just really, really odd. This one, you got to look close. Right there this looks like it's dimensional. This creature, the woman that was filming this is pretty old, didn't know she caught something. She wasn't trying to film this shadow here. She was looking at the other scenery and people over there. It just kind of pops up, and there it is again right here. And then it kind of just goes in a portal or something. It's really weird. But again, I've found footprints that led to a tree and then just disappeared. This was in Clyde. I think maybe one of your best places, from my experience, is Clyde, North Carolina, Cullowhee, the greater Asheville area. Oh, there's a lot of stuff out there. Oh, yeah, just from experience. But there is also in Arkansas, and even out in the desert. Look at that one there. You see that one there. Interesting. That does feel kind of legit to me, the vibe there. And then he shows another one. This one was kind of creepy, because you're just looking and he's starting to like zero in on a spot, and then all of a sudden there's something looking at you. It's just kind of creepy here. Where did that one go? There it is. Whoa. Interesting. How about all the people, this northern Ohio, how about all the people that go missing in parks? Seriously, this is Washington. Washington State, our Washington State has the most. Look at those faces. It looks like two faces. Has the most Bigfoot encounters of any in the USA continental. But again, I think if there were more people up in Alaska, that you would have by far probably the most sightings up there.
Alaska is really interesting. Like, a lot of people really go missing in Alaska. Alaska is kind of scary and probably full of portals and other things that we completely do not understand right now.
And the thing is, Gigantopithecus. Gigantopithecus is real. This is something that is literally documented. And just to bring it up, I mean, Gigantopithecus is exactly Bigfoot. Yeah, I mean, it just boggles my mind that here they go. Gigantopithecus, they say, is an extinct type of primate. And what does it look like? It looks exactly like Bigfoot. It is exactly like Bigfoot. We have scientific, teeth and remnants of this. So the only thing is, okay, they're going to tell us that it just simply died off a long time ago. It's not here anymore. But it's exactly Bigfoot. Exactly. It's got a scientific Latin name, Gigantopithecus. So, can it be that some are still here? This was a video we did over 6 years ago, and abandoned mine, Mojave Desert, humanoid footprint. This is really hard ground. And if you could see it, that's my foot. You could see the toes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 toes. And it's twice as wide as my foot. I'm a size 11 and probably weighed 180 pounds. And I didn't leave an imprint at all. And this, left a pretty good imprint in really hard desert sand and rock. And this was right by that abandoned mine, right there. So it made me think that it was going in the mine. And maybe, again, there's multiple mine shafts that connect. Very curious indeed. This is in between Minden, Louisiana, and the border of Arkansas, probably about 10 miles south of the Arkansas border. And this was the babies here when they were 6 months old. But over in this area, we would take them to hike and stuff. And look at them. They were so young then. And I found footprints over there on more than one occasion in the soil that were clearly humanoid. In fact, we've found them in many places. This was a video where we're talking about all the different giant footprints that have been found all over the world. Look at this. Look at the size of that. I mean, again, that's Michael Tellinger, by the way. This is 4.5 foot long footprint. Pretty obvious. How about this one? We've never been alone with what we would call extraterrestrials. Again, this was really cool too. This is a metallic stone, they say, ball, perfectly round, Bosnia Herzegovina. It's crazy. Here you go. There's footprints galore in Texas. There's tons of footprints of dinosaurs and humans in the same strata. Yes, I mean, wow. I asked chat to mark down the locations that Cindy and I have had encounters, and these are the areas that we've had like in some sort of interaction and seen footprints. So in the greater Asheville area, in Louisiana, Arkansas, New Mexico, Nevada, Death Valley. A lot. It's stuff where we've seen it ourselves we've seen footprints. We felt them, watching us. I really liked a property in the Emerson, Arkansas area we were looking at and considering. It was down a road by itself, a little windy trail type thing by itself. And Cindy had the feeling like there's no way in hell she would live there because we were feeling eyes watching us, and I did see a big footprint there. And then we started to get thumps, like something grabbed a stick and started smashing it against trees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was creepy. There's just a lot of things out there that are so weird. When I was little out in the mountains, I heard I would be out riding horses, and then I would hear these little meows, and it was really strange. And I often wonder, is that how they play with you? Because I do feel I was watched when I was little, and me and my friend Hannah were riding up the mountain, and we just mentioned Bigfoot, and then all of a sudden there's this big, huge bush starts shaking, and our horses completely freaked out. I don't know how they didn't smell the thing, but they didn't. This was probably, I don't know, 50 feet in front of us, and the whole bush, this was a huge, huge bush. It started shaking, and the horses just jumped and turned around and ran all the way down the mountain. And this is a very rocky mountain that they ran down, and it was quite frightening, so I've had a lot of interesting things happen in my life, and it just, sometimes it's ongoing. You continue to find yourself in these places with situations that go on that you can't quite fully explain.
No, and back in 2007, I had joined, excuse me, guys, a group of soldiers from Fort Jackson in South Carolina, in the Columbia, South Carolina area. And they were looking for somebody that was a little intuitive and, to help them in their paranormal investigations. And that was a blast. That was mostly ghost related. But, I was with them for a couple of years and had a lot of fun. There's so many, quote unquote, paranormal encounters out there with various types of beings. That it's just a matter of whether people have the perceptive ability to perceive these things. It really is about your frequency. So if you really do want to have some paranormal encounters and you're the curious type, raise your frequency, decalcify your pineal gland, and they will more likely interact with you.
Mm-hmm. I absolutely will.
We look forward to your comments. Please do share. Have you had encounters with cryptids, Bigfoot, dogmen, any sort of strange entities like that? Please do share what you have experienced, or have you actually seen footprints for yourself? Much love, source bless, and namaste.
Namaste.